everybody, I'm back, and surprisingly with my skin intact. You know, I thought I knew for sure what the response to last week's rant was going to be, okay? I was so positive that I knew exactly what was going to happen, because historically, at least in my experience anyway, Nintendo fans are some of the least forgiving members of this community, especially to anybody that disagrees with them. However, day one of that video going up, 57 comments, which already intimidated me, but I shouldn't have been intimidated because after actually reading them, all but 4 of them were positive, well-spoken, thought-out discussion. Okay, nobody telling me to go kill myself, nobody asking me to get off the internet and telling me I'm a failure, nobody even threatening to dox me. And one of them, the guy actually regretted later and edited away of his own accord. Have I ever mentioned I've got one of the best fan bases on the internet and how grateful I am that all of you are here right now with me? Because I do, and I am. Incredibly. However, I do want to address the most egregious allegation that was levied against me last week. I want to stamp this thought out right here, right now, and that is the idea that I might think that Melee is the best Smash Brothers. Dude! Bayonetta, Mega Man, Cloud. You think I care about frame data as much as I do about being able to play as the Duck Hunt dog? Okay, as hard as it might be to believe, somebody can have problems with Nintendo and not be a heartless monster, okay?
I feel like I've been a bit of a negative Nancy lately. I didn't like Knights of Azure, Alekine's Gun, or Hyper Light Drifter. There was the drama rant, then the Nintendo rant, and not to mention the localization rant, all of which weren't exactly designed to brighten up anybody's day. So this time, I'm gonna swing things in a more positive direction, and get back to the tone I originally wanted this show to have. And on that note, this week I feel like talking about something that makes me really happy. Something that I discovered only recently that makes me glad I'm still part of the industry I'm in. Mark off one more sign of the apocalypse, people, because I found competitive multiplayer that I actually like. Whoa! I know, right? For those of you who don't understand why this is a big deal, welcome to the channel by the way, I'm not a fan of fighting against people online in practically any game. Competition is something I never got a chance to get used to as a kid because I didn't have anybody to play with. Add that to the fact that everyone in my family is naturally competitive, and you can only imagine the salt that happens when I start losing. For the longest time, I despised competitive multiplayer because all I could associate with it were bad memories. Memories of me getting killed by the same person over and over, of having to watch as they murdered the rest of my team while the respawn timer ticked down agonizingly slowly. Memories of me encountering first-order optimal strategy dicks who had no counter and just sat there smugly as they kept winning with minimal effort. Memories of me getting completely obliterated by people that knew the game far better than I did with no way to tell what I did wrong or how to improve. It got so bad that at a certain point I was convinced that the very concept itself of competitive online multiplayer was inherently broken. That there was no way to do it right, and I was never going to enjoy it the way other people could. Until now. I never played games like Quake and Unreal Tournament when I was little, but the instant I tried out Doom 4's multiplayer, it just felt right. Largely because everything is so incredibly quick. There is no reloading, no respawn timer, barely any time to focus on who killed you, no hackneyed leveling up system that makes it so either you or the enemy team is practically unstoppable near the match's end, thus sucking all of the fun out of it, and every weapon deals so much damage so quickly that even I can feel like I'm contributing. It's just go, 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 go. Don't think, just play. Don't pay attention to who's winning, don't pay attention to names, don't linger on anything. Just shoot, kill, die, and repeat until somebody wins. It's like id Software took normal FPS multiplayer and removed all the bullshit, leaving nothing but pure game remaining. And as it turns out, that's all I ever wanted. The more I experience Doom's multiplayer, the more I want to keep playing, as opposed to every other FPS out there where it grates on me until I never want to touch it again. Well, maybe not every other FPS. See, there's another game I tried on stream a while back. I'd seen other people playing it for the longest time, and when I finally got my own hands on it, from the very first match, I knew I had made a good choice. I know the game technically isn't out yet by the time I'm writing this, but based on the open beta alone, I can almost certainly confirm that Overwatch is incredible. Everything is just so charming in this game. Doom had elements of this as well, but it's not quite as pronounced in that game. Every single character has so much personality and life to them that it makes them a blast to play. Their various abilities, personalities, and weapon sets not only offer new spins on classic ideas, but they also complement and counter each other in ways that keep every match feeling fresh. But what really sells me on Blizzard's new IP is the attitude it has. More than anything else, Overwatch is about teamwork. It's about coming together as a group and accomplishing something none of you could do alone. KD doesn't mean diddly in this game. You could have a 22-person kill streak and still lose the match because you're not pushing the objective. You could be the best Bastion in the world, but if even one person on the enemy team catches on to what you're doing and switches to Genji or Hanzo, it's going to change the entire way you have to play that character. Even guys like Torbjorn and Soldier 76 have abilities that directly support their teammates. And that's the key word here, support. Overwatch's setting is a world of heroes, so working as a team that supports one another is naturally the only way to win. So even if you don't come out victorious in the match, every small contribution you make feels good, like you're doing the right thing. I'm so happy I found these games entertaining. I am positively psyched that I finally found competitive multiplayer that I enjoy, that I can be part of the club and understand why other people like this genre so much. And you know what? There's a lesson to be taken from that. I could have given up completely on this genre. I could have turned a blind eye and never touched these titles based on my previous experiences. But if I did, I would have missed out on some of the most fun I've had this year. They broke all of my expectations and got me to be a fan of a type of game I was adamantly opposed to mere weeks before. It reminds me that there's value in keeping an open mind, that creativity knows no bounds, and with the right ideas coming together, sometimes we can find games we like in the most unexpected places. I'm not a big fan of sports games, admittedly, but SSX Tricky still stands as one of my favorite games on the PS2, and I even found the reboot to be pretty enjoyable. Because of the original StarCraft, I used to think I would never like strategy games. But then I played Fire Emblem and was like, okay, I get it now. I guess what I'm trying to say is never assume. If something really jumps out at you, catches your eye and gets you interested, even if it's in a genre you normally don't like, give it a go. Because however slight, there's always that chance you might be pleasantly surprised.
And one more thing I want to say about last week's rant, and it's regarding the question I posed at the end on whether or not I should still cover material from Nintendo, and surprisingly, the response was mostly a resounding yes. Everybody saying, yeah, you should keep going with this, for many different reasons. Everybody brought up really good points here and there. But what it essentially comes down to, and what I realized after I asked that question, is that me not covering their games anymore doesn't benefit you guys. Which is the whole reason I'm here. It's the whole reason I'm doing this, is because of you. So, me not reviewing their games anymore, not giving my personal opinion on them, isn't helping you, because it just means there's less information out there. So, hey, I aim to please, so looks like we're riding this train as long as we possibly can. But anyway, that's going to be the rant for this week, so please join me again next week when we'll be covering whatever's going on in the industry today, and until then, Atlas just released a new Persona 5 trailer, and I have barely scratched the surface on this thing, so later everybody.